I'm upset.
Kinetic.
The Maniac.
Good evening, good people. I, the Maize Madman. I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maize Madman. I am here with my guy,
The Maniac.
my other guy,
Kinetic.
and of course,
Your boy, Lichmax.
Yeah.
your boy.
Your
Shout out
boy.
to that, man.
like
We got a dope show lined up today. We are obviously going to touch on QB1. We are obviously going to touch on some other parts of the depth chart, and we're going to go down this Michigan schedule. And me and Maniac are not going to jump out the window head first this season. We promise you. Lichmax
Catch
will
y'all
be off
later.
doing Lichmax things. All right, let's get to it, gentlemen. First of all, right out the gate, it was kind of it was supposed to be announced today officially. The news broke yesterday. Bryce Underwood, quarterback number 1. What y'all feel about it?
no. This comes as a super shock to me. Who saw this coming?
I mean, listen,
Look.
from the end of last season, I thought I was on I said that Mikey King should start first.
Me
Once
too.
he was injured in spring, I think it was over because he just wasn't going to be able to compete with Bryce. From what I understand, he's still limited in his practicing. There was once he missed spring camp, there was no way he was going to take that job from Bryce.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think, and I'm on the same boat with Kinetic because I am on record stating that I would like to see Mikey Keene, start. But if he didn't get no significant practice, and so yeah, no, absolutely not. I just hope during the season he is healthy for the fact that we'll have a legitimate backup, right? In case anything happens to Bryce. Hopefully that is not the case this season, but no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, for me, no surprise. He's I think he's the most talented quarterback on the roster, without a doubt.
You think?
Yeah, he's the most talented quarterback on the roster without a doubt.
Were you surprised by JD being QB2?
That's exactly what I was about to get to. Actually, one thing that may come as a surprise to some people is Jaden Davis is QB number 2. Go ahead, Kinetic. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, his throwing motion. That's the only thing that's really been a knock on him. And like the videos I've seen, yeah, it's bad. But let's not act like we haven't seen dozens of quarterbacks over just the last probably 10, 15 years that came in and had a janky throwing motion in one way or another and made it work. And if the coaching staff is looking at him and saying, you know what, it works for him, that's fine. I think it also further goes to the whole, Jake Garcia was brought in as depth. Mikey Keene probably is still limited with his injury. Davis Warren's still injured with his ACL. So is JD2 for QB2 this year?
Yeah, he pretty much quarterback 2 by default, right? I mean, he's been in the system, he understands it. I mean, Garcia came in, but regardless of the fact, man, look, he better be ready because if his numbers call, it is what it is. Or if the first game goes as we all expected, which is a blowout, we're going to expect to see Jaden Davis get some significant snaps in that game.
No doubt. This is a great question by William S. Kane. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, how you feel about the starting wide receivers in the lineup, right? Obviously, it's McCulley. Looks like Samaj Morgan is going to hold down one of those spots. And
wide receiver 2.
Right. And Channing Goodwin, actually, who, by the way, I think we all noticed and pointed out during the spring game, it looked like he and Bryce already had some chemistry going. I think he was targeted 9 times in the spring game. He may have caught like 2 or 3 of those, but the fact that he was targeted so often was kind of a telltale. But go ahead, Maniac, kick this one off. What you think about the wide receiver?
Yeah, man, that's one of the biggest question marks coming into the season this spring is how a wide receiver room was going to look. I think we all not surprised with McCulley being wide receiver 1. He's the most experienced. He looks like he's the most physical and the most athletic in that room right now. So we're good there. Samaj, not really. I thought he'll be number 3. I would have thought Fred Moore would have creeped into that too. Obviously, that's not the case. Someone, Channing Goodwin, like you mentioned, we did see him in spring. Like, yo, they trying to get him in the board. It looks like he's a very crisp route runner. He seems like he got solid hands. We don't know yet. But look, at the end of the day, we know there's depth behind these guys too. So I'm very excited for our wide receiver room. Yes, I think Channing Goodwin is probably, not a super surprise, but I don't really think we saw that coming. But shout to him. That means he put that work in, man, and he's earned it.
Yeah.
And yeah, real quick, just on the Jaden Davis thing, I also have been on record saying that I think he's got more competitor in him than people are giving him credit for to make it work. And being able to see him in garbage time, like if we're up 3-4 scores late into the third quarter and they put in the backups, getting to see him do it in a game, I think might change some of our opinions on him. As far as the wide receivers, though, it wasn't just the spring game. If y'all remember back to the spring practices leading up to the spring game, all the clips we saw coming out with Bryce Underwood, it was like 80% of them, it was Channing Goodwin on the other end of that pass. There's obvious chemistry with Channing Goodwin. If for some reason JD has to get into a game, there's obvious chemistry with him and Channing Goodwin as well. It surprises me that Fred Moore is not a starting wide receiver. And it also kind of surprises me. I wonder when they say wide receiver 2 for Samaj, does that mean he's going to be on the boundary? Is he going to move inside when we run 3 receiver sets? Is he going to move inside to slot and Goodwin's going to be on the outside? Because correct me if I'm wrong, when we were at the spring game, Goodwin was on the outside most of that game. I don't remember him running in the slot that often. So
I saw him in the slot a couple times. But usually when you say wide receiver 2, that is a boundary receiver, right? So that's going to be interesting. Obviously we saw Samaj making a play in practice, making plays in practice because as much as you say you saw Channing in the clips this spring, which we did too, Samaj was in those clips. Browder was in those clips, right? I think those were like the 3 guys that I saw the most in those spring clips, but especially, Browder in terms of making some circus catches there. But at the same time, I am shocked to see Samaj Morgan at wide receiver 2, not necessarily because I don't think he has dog, and I know he has a dog in him. Like we all know that. But I also have to take a step back and think last year wasn't the best, situation for anybody. And once we saw, the film later on, we saw guys like Fred Moore and even Samaj Morgan running open at times in opposing team secondary. So, maybe it shouldn't come as a shocker. And this is Samaj Morgan's 3rd year now at Michigan. So we should expect, him to take a step forward. Now, obviously he's taking a leap there. So, I'm as shocked as I am, there is still some of me that isn't necessarily that shocked. Maybe wide receiver 2 is a shock, a boundary receiver, a little bit of shock, but that's about it.
Yeah. And I think Maize gets too much hate, right? I know the OSU fans dislike him because he went Tupac on them, deservedly so. But Maize is a talented receiver. Now, I wouldn't call him an elite receiver, but I think that if he's around the right quarterback, which I think we have, and now we have a very experienced play caller in Chip Linsley, I think Maize is going to have a good season, man. People are going to be surprised. So I'm excited to see what he could do. And plus, he could do more than catch. You get him a jet sweep. You give him a reverse. He can make things happen, man, and make things work. So expect my man Maize to cook this year.
Yeah. And the thing with Samaj, like, we all saw him through the lens of Kirk Campbell's offense. And it was very obvious that Kirk Campbell looked at him, saw his size, and said, okay, he's a gadget slot receiver. And that's how he used him or tried to use him all last year. But Samaj has been very vocal about saying, I'm not just a gadget receiver. That's not my game. I'm a route runner. I'm a route artist, or whatever it was he said about himself. And so maybe putting him on the outside is a better use of his abilities. And we're all just, because we haven't seen it. We saw him in spot duty 2023. We saw him through Kirk Campbell's lens last year. Maybe we're all kind of selling him short based on what we've seen through that jaded lens.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think you're onto something there. And I think more than seeing Samaj as one of those starters, not seeing Frederick Moore was kind of more jarring, right? Like that was kind of like, yo, what these guys must have really, showed out in practice. Hearing about Andrew Marsh being right there, on the heels of some of these guys is also encouraging. He's a freshman. He was a top 100 player. So we expected him to, be on the field early, and I'm sure we'll see him. A guy like Bell, right?
Hey, I've been calling for weeks that I thought Kendrick Bell was going to be a sleeper, and I think he is in that 6-man rotation. You've been hearing his name come up a lot recently. A couple weeks ago, I said it when I called into Johnny and TJ thought I was nuts saying that Kendrick Bell was going to make a play. But if you go back to last season, out of every offensive player had the 11th most snaps. I know it's 11th, but there's 11 starters. Kendrick Bell wasn't a starter. And look at how many wide receivers. He was higher than almost any of the wide receivers aside from Fred Moore and Tyler Morris on snaps. He was right up there with Samaj on snaps. He just wasn't targeted a lot.
Yeah.
But if he's in the game that often, he's got the coach's trust.
Yeah. And speaking of, Andrew Marsh, man, he's been named the kick returner. So this is what you do when you have a lot of talent. All right, he can't start. Let's put him in the return. You gotta put these guys in positions to succeed early, and I like that. Now, did they name the punt returner? Is it gonna be Marsh as well? Because that's interesting as well.
I know early on I was seeing like Samaj on punt returns too. I mean, if he's wide receiver too, maybe they don't.
Yeah, I don't
necessarily return punts either.
We learned our lesson with Ronnie Bell. In 21.
If Samaj is a starting 2 wide receiver, who do you think that we're putting at kick returner? We got Micah, but who else? You think Anthony Simpson gets in there?
Andrew Marsh is
the
kick returner. Yeah.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. My bad.
Him and Micah, that would have been nice to have him and Micah back there.
I saw Micah on the list too, but I think Micah's firmly at running back 3 right now. From
I've heard. Well, they said one. Obviously, I've been through that. 1A and 1B is Marsh,
Jordan, right?
Jordan Marshall and Hayes, and then of course they said Jasper Parker is making a huge push for RB3
at all. That's not shocking
for RB3. So, bro, that's tight, man. Hopefully, Micah could see some playing time.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a little bit of a. I just want to bring this up because I just saw this. Looking at our week 2 matchup with OU, one of the strengths that we've heard from everyone all offseason about OU was their transfer running back, Jaden Hott. OU just put out their week 1 depth chart that they're playing. Jaden Hott is running back 3.
Bro, we're going to get there, man. You jumping ahead, bro. We got a whole schedule to break down here in a second. All right. Let's.
What just happened? Max, what happened?
Maize,
Where did Maize go?
The portal. He entered the portal mid-show.
All right, there we go. Yo,
he left for Oklahoma.
Real quick, because we didn't get to do this at the beginning of the show. I got to give some shout outs. Shout out to everybody in the chat. By the way, if you're a mod, you know what to do. Like the video, share this video with your friends and family on social media. But shout out to my guy Beats and Treats, who's in here talking about my bedtime. Asian Posh, of course, is here. Mike Legend in here. Mar Mizzle, G's Louise, G Boulder, GT is here. Of course, we got my guy behind the boards. Johnny Olden Jr. is in the building. Don't tell Johnny what to do on Johnny's live. And if I missed you, my guy DK, I can't forget DK all day. He's DK also
the
in
bully.
Here. Yeah. Don't make us put DK on you. Brando 2 times in the building too. All right, Detroit Wolverine. Everybody's here. All right, let's go. So, any other shockers along that or on the Michigan depth chart for anybody?
Yeah, Brady Norton beating out Nathan Afobe and Blake Frazier for offensive guard at right guard. All offseason, we've heard it was going to be Nate Afobe.
Yep.
Brady Norton originally came in, I think he played tackle at Cal Poly, and then he was moving him to guard, but needed to bulk up. And seeing that he beat out Nathan Afobe, I think it's good, but it brings up a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation I don't know if people want to talk about here. But every year for the past, 4 years, we've had to bring in transfer offensive line that beat the guys in the system to start. So why are we having trouble developing these offensive linemen into starters?
It's not trouble. It's just you put in that's one guy. The other 4 from Michigan recruited. So it's what the game is. Every team, Ohio State, Georgia, everybody's going in the portal for linemen. Again, we know, Afobe was a 4-star, and came in and he did what he had to do, man. He started 11 games. He has way more experience than Afobe. Now, I get it. He comes from an FCS school, Cal Poly, but at the end of the day, experience is experience. That shit matters. And there's good teams in the FCS. So I believe that, sometimes guys are just not what they are. It is what it is. I'm fine. Look, I just want the best out there. You go in the portal and you do. Because look, people got to understand. Caleb Downs, Will Howard, Quinshawn Junkins, take them away from Ohio State last year. Does Ohio State win the Natty? And excuse my language, and who recruits better than Ohio State? Not really not many teams. So again, I don't think it's really nothing about the line. He just beat a guy out, right? That's like Fred Moore and Maize. Maize beat out Goodwin, beat out Fred Moore. It happens.
Yeah, no doubt. I think I was a little shocked at the Afobe thing too, because we had been hearing about him all can't really, and that's one of those things, kind of like the you remember a season ago where we were hearing about Alex Orji, and then like 2 weeks before the season starts, maybe a week and a half, whatever it was, all of a sudden we got Davis Warren. We hear Davis Warren's name as a potential starter. Now this one, it's not that in the sense of like leading up to it. He announced this is the depth chart, so it's not like we were hearing it and then 2 weeks before that we stopped hearing it, which I think might be a little more alarming, that we were hearing Afobe and then all of a sudden it's Brady Norton. But you could take that one or two ways. I'm choosing to take this in a positive way. even though what happened last year happened. But we'll see. Obviously, the quarterback position is a lot better this year. And that offensive line, man, honestly, if that offensive line is good, is decent to good, I think Michigan's going to have a very successful season. But I think it comes down to that ultimately. All right, what we got next? Michigan schedule breakdown and predictions, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
It's been a year, Maize. It's already been a year. Holy man,
it's already been a year since we jumped out that window head first. Let me share the tier list, the tier maker real quick. This one's kind of big. Pause. Extensive, if you will. Let me get this presentation mode. All right. That's not what we wanted. And I think I just messed up the tier maker. I did.
Screwed the whole thing up, Maize.
I spent a lot of time on that too, which is a little disappointing. I
gotta ask, what is the please hammer picture?
That's for when we didn't, if it's one that we didn't pick Michigan to win.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, but anyway, let's just do this traditionally.
Yeah,
that was a bit disappointing. I had big plans for that
save
list.
It?
No, I didn't, because I just did it as a one-time list. So, yeah, it's gone. All that work for nothing. Anyway, we're just going to do this traditional list. We're going to go down a Michigan schedule. We're going to tell you who we think beats Michigan or Michigan beats, which is nobody can beat Michigan, honestly. Let Maniac tell it.
Nobody. They all bums.
Right.
Everybody we play is bumps.
Everybody else is bums. All right, here we go. Game number 1 at the Big House. Let me make this a little bigger. Pause.
You like making things big.
Yo, pause. Here we go. Game number 1. New Mexico travels to the Big House. The Lobos coming to the Big House trying to lay the smacketh down on the Wolverines. I think we all know where we're going with this one, right?
Yeah.
Lobos by 100.
Yes. Facts.
Yes.
They are blue blood. They are blue blood coming in week 1. I mean, this is dangerous for Michigan. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Michigan might not win this game by 38 points. It could be more. All right. We good here? Everybody is Michigan on the Lobos.
Yeah. I think just real quick, right?
Yeah.
Although I know people expecting a super blowout, I'm not expecting it to be like, hopefully it is, but
right.
I'm going to stick to my guns. I said about 40, 44, 40, 45 or 48-10 Michigan. I hope we get to the 40, right? Yeah. Hopefully we get there. And again, I think that Lobo touchdown will be in garbage time if they do score a touchdown.
Yeah. Kinetic, your thoughts on the Lobos traveling to Ann Arbor and their aspirations for leaving with a victory?
I mean, I don't think there's any chance that they're going to beat Michigan. I don't know if I would bet on them beating them by 37 points, though.
Yeah.
I think that traditionally Michigan goes into these early games still figuring stuff out, still trying things, getting people on the same page. And while they are going to be looking towards Oklahoma, I think the focus for Michigan on this game is making sure that the units work well together. The wide receivers and Bryce, the offensive line, the defensive line, but also they're going to try to show as little as possible before Oklahoma. So they're going to go very vanilla on offense and defense. They're only going to come out, go outside of the base sets as much as they have to keep the game in hand. So I do think Michigan wins, though.
Yeah. So we all got Michigan. Chat, talk to us. Michigan versus New Mexico. Who y'all got? And we're banning anybody who picks the wrong thing. All right. Don't be disrespectful. All right. Game number 2 gets considerably tougher. Michigan travels to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Oklahoma Sooners rather. In a night game, back-to-back night games for the Wolverines, making history there to start the season.
Blue blood.
True blue bloods play at night.
Back to back.
Back to back, right? So, gentlemen, talk to me on this one. Kinetic, let's start with you this time. Michigan at Oklahoma. What do you think happens here?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think either team gets above 25. I think it'll be something like 23 or 24 points for Michigan and like roughly 17, give or take, for Oklahoma. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think both QBs are going to flash. But I also think that Oklahoma is being a bit overrated. I mean, like I pointed out earlier, Jade Knott, their star transfer, is listed 3rd on their depth chart. John Mateer has his own troubles going on right now, and as gifted as he is, you look at his stats against good teams last year, and it was not good.
Right.
He's got his offensive coordinator. It's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be mistakes and flashes from both sides, and I think it's going to mainly come down to the defense. Michigan wins. I'll say.
Look at Marmar's score.
Yeah, I'll say 23-7, or excuse me, 24-17. What is that picture?
Man. First of all, if this happens, then the rest of the country should be very, very afraid.
Yeah.
Very, very afraid. In fact, the rest of the country should just mail it in. Send us the trophy. All of the trophies. The Big Ten trophy.
All of the trophies.
So whatever bowl game we was going to send us the trophies if this right here happens. But shout out to Mar. All right. Maniac, your thoughts on Michigan at Oklahoma?
Yeah, so we're not gonna repeat last year what I did, right? Look, this is a true fist fight. This game is gonna be a fist fight. If we talking analogies, this is a boxing match with two guys that could punch, and it's like who's gonna will the late. And this game is gonna come down to the 4th quarter. Now, the only thing that I believe Oklahoma has going for them, 2 things. One, they playing at home, and they have the more experienced quarterback, right? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but experience does matter. I think Bryce is going to have a solid game at best. It's going to be tough for him. Trust me, it's a road game at night. I don't care what anybody tell me. He's going to struggle in that game. He still might do decent, but you'll see struggles. I think it's this game is going to get a lot of hype. There's a lot of pressure on Oklahoma. Obviously, same thing with our coach, being that he played for Oklahoma. He's an alumni from that college. Chat, y'all could cook me, whatever. For now, I want to be wrong, but I gotta see it first. I'm going to go 21-17 Oklahoma. And to me, we're going to have the ball last to win the game. And it's either going to be a deflection interception or somebody fumbles or a strip sack. And that's how we lose.
What was your final score?
21-17, the bums from Norman.
No. No doubt. All right. So coming into this, I told myself I was going to be realistic too. I was like, look, man, last year you knew better than to pick Michigan over Texas last year. And I taught myself into it. And guess what I've done today? No, I'm joking. So this is one of the games that I thought that Michigan could lose. For sure, it's going to be Bryce's second ever start. And He's going to be on the road for the first time as a college football player. And it's not just on the road anywhere. It's on the road at another true blue blood. It's going to be a hostile environment. I have faith in Bryce Underwood. I think that he will take this and learn from it greatly the second game at Oklahoma. However, I do think Michigan drops this game. I got this game also pretty low scoring, 24-21. I think Oklahoma hangs on late to win. But this is going to be a dogfight for sure. Yeah. Both defenses are going to come to play. Brett Venables really this season is coaching for his job. He's got a lot to lose if he loses to Michigan. John Mateer is the more experienced quarterback. I'm not really worried about John Mateer, though, necessarily killing Michigan's defense because, like Kinetic pointed out, he didn't play well against tougher competition a year ago. Now, granted, he didn't have the weapons around him that he'll have here either, so that's fair. He didn't have the protection that he'll have here either. That's also fair, but I think Michigan loses a close one here. Game 2 on the road. Talk to us in the comment section. Let us know what you think.
We're probably getting cooked. Yo, Maize, we getting cooked in the chat.
Definitely. Keep in mind a couple things, though. Oklahoma didn't have the best wide receiver core yet last year, and they didn't do a whole lot to add to it this year. And their offensive line is just as shaky as ours, if not more. If
well,
you listen to the
wide receiver core, all of them were in the infirmary a season ago.
Right, but I'm just saying, like they have a lot of the same questions we have with offensive line and wide receiver. Sure. And Mateer, the best defense he played against last year pales in comparison to Wink Martindale's defense.
He lost to Navy.
Yeah. They got. Yeah. Listen,
hey, bro.
I know. I get. Listen, my fellow Michigan, y'all barbecue right now. Cook. Hey, listen. You got to be realistic, guys. I get it. Some of us fans just think we're going to win every game. Nah, stop the bullshit. We're not going to win every game. Again, this is a game Michigan can win. You see, there's certain games that you like, I don't know. But we'll see, man. Hopefully I'm wrong for this one.
Just remember. I just want the chat to remember. I just want the chat to remember that of the three of us last year, I was the only one that picked Michigan going into the Ohio State game.
No, you didn't.
No, you weren't.
Don't
tell that lie. I went on a whole other show picking Michigan. What are you talking about?
We went 12-0.
Maybe that was on TJ's show. Maybe that was on TJ's show. But now here, I'm the one picking us to beat Oklahoma. So when we beat them boys in week 2,
and I hope you're
just the chat to remember who picked us to win.
All right, they will know. That's in 2 weeks. Don't worry.
Yeah. By the way, I want to be wrong about this. By the way, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a Michigan win. Hey, and I want to say this too. After week 1, I am allowed to change my mind here. All right, this is right now. We haven't seen any of these guys play a meaningful football game. Who does
Oklahoma open up against?
Illinois State.
Oh, that's gonna be tough.
We both playing teams from the Sip and Paint
Illinois State's a tough football team.
No, they are blue blood. You facts. They blue blood.
Where's Lou Holtz right now? All right, let's do it. Week 3. The Chippewas, the Fighting Connor Stallions, come to the Big House to take on Michigan. Maniac, where you see this one going?
Yeah, man, it ain't no. This shit is true. This is a minute right here. This is going to be a beatdown, another beatdown, and especially, depending coming off the Oklahoma game. If it's a loss, it's going to get real ugly for SMU, right? If it's a win, they might come in, a little, what's that word? Not drunk, shit. When you hungover, hopefully if they beat Oklahoma, they don't come into this game hungover and probably play a little sloppy first half and run away with it second half. But I expect Michigan to win big. This shouldn't be much of a game.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Kinetic.
I mean, Central Michigan has a couple like decent players that I'm interested to see if they can do anything or what they can do. Their backup quarterback Flores, but I think he's better than Lavas. And they got one receiver that I'm interested in, but there's no way they're gonna beat Michigan in Ann Arbor. It's just not gonna happen.
They could have Connor Stallions, all of his signs, all of Michigan signs for the next 5 years. They're gonna lose by a lot of points.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So I got Michigan in this one, 57-56. I think I'm 56-3 Michigan in this game.
I won't go. I'm not going that high.
They're gonna be coming off that loss, gentlemen, to Oklahoma. They're gonna be raring to go.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat who about to fry me. Let's do it. Nebraska takes on Michigan in Nebraska. All right. This one's a tricky game. Dylan Raiola, for all of his Patrick Mahonisms, is a pretty decent quarterback.
The generic version.
Started as a true freshman a season ago, looked pretty good. Had his team in position to beat the other state, honestly, a season ago. Ultimately, they did not. Michigan traveling to Nebraska. Tell me what you think happens in this one, Maniac.
Yeah, so this is going to be a tough game, regardless. I know you got Michigan fans. You just think this is going to be an easy win. I don't think it's going to be an easy win, but I think Michigan is going to win this game. First of all, the scheduling screw us this season. We got no back-to-back home games. That's one. Two, this is our third time playing Nebraska in 4 years. And all 3 years have been in Lincoln. In 21, no, lies. In 20, they came to the big house. I lied. Sorry.
I lied.
Anyway, I lied. It's going to be a tough game. Raiola, he's an athletic quarterback. He's just one of them guys that once we get to the backfield, we got to sack him. Because once he gets slippery, that's when it could get dangerous. So as long as we're tackling, we'll be fine. I'm going to go Michigan. And that might be a night game. I'm assuming that might be another night game for Michigan. So I think
it's at a 3:30. This one has a 3:30 kickoff time.
Oh, it does? Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. All right, so I'm going Michigan. I'm going 27-13 Michigan. But it's going to be Michigan is going to run away with the game late.
Okay. Kinetic, what you think?
I think Nebraska is a little bit overrated. I think that Raiola is very overrated. You know my thoughts on him. Dude, it's so stupid. He posted on or said something somewhere about he can't help that God made him look like Patrick Mahomes. As if God's making him cut his hair the same way and wear the same sunglasses.
I just need him to
come
be
on,
quiet.
dude. Come on. But I'm not a Matt Rule fan. Their offensive coordinator is good, but they've got a lot of holes on defense. Lincoln's a tough place to play. I would say I'm going to say Michigan goes in there and wins. We'll say 30-23.
Okay.
Brady Smigel got cooked last week. Damn it, bro. Get off the pressures. Raiola is Timu Mahomes.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
My prediction on this game, I think Michigan goes into Nebraska and wins again. We are becoming accustomed to beating Nebraska. We keep the Bussin' Trophy right in Ann Arbor where it belongs. Bryce Underwood makes a statement, beating the number one quarterback from a class before him in his home stadium. I got this one a little more in Michigan's favor. I think this score of this one is 31-13 Michigan. I
got a question.
Go ahead.
Don't we usually go home and home with conference opponents?
Yeah.
How the hell are we playing at Lincoln twice in a row?
Yeah, because the scheduling people screwed Michigan this year. That's for sure. The following week, Michigan has a bye week. They are off week 5. Lagway was the number 1 quarterback last year. That's true.
Well, but wasn't Raiola number 1 at one point?
Yeah. He ended up being number 1. Raiola was number 1 for like most of the season.
And the chat brings up something very, very important. Matt Rule, y'all right. He's been talking real greasy. I hope Michigan really punched him in their mouth. He's one of them crying ass coaches. He wasn't. Shut your ass up. Your team was soft. You got cooked. You seen my man Roman Wilson catch it on your safety's neck. That was kind of Stallions too.
That was kind of Stallions. He told him to throw it right there.
Matt Rule is a bum. Another bum coach. Fucking be in front of Dunkin' Donuts with a cup next year. Watch.
Damn it. Chat, I think everybody's got us beat in Nebraska. A lot of people have Michigan 4-0 at this point. If you're following my predictions, Michigan is 3-0 going into 3-1, going into the bye week. According to Kinetic, we're 4-0 going into the bye week, and Maniac has us 3-1 going into the bye. After the bye, we welcome the Badgers to the big house. Maniac, who wins this one and why?
So, guys, we talking about let's put our football caps on, not bias.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, every team has a team on their schedule that's a guarantee win, and they struggle. They win, but they struggle. This could be it. I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying that Michigan will struggle, especially if they 4-0. Because into that bye, the natty. Bryce is the guy, the natty. Y'all gonna win the natty. Y'all gonna win the natty. They're gonna have to hear that for 2 weeks. They're gonna come home to Nebraska. This is easy work. And boom, it's 17-14 in the fourth quarter. Michigan only up by 3. And we like, what the F is going on here? It happens every year. I'm not saying this is the game, but I'm just saying don't be surprised. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going Michigan in this game, and I don't think it'll be that high scoring. I'm going to go Michigan 27-17.
No doubt. Kinetic, what you think?
I think that this is an easy win against Wisconsin. There's not much to say here. Wisconsin starting Billy Edwards. You know what we thought about him when we talked about potentially transferring here a while ago. He's serviceable, but he's not great. I don't think they have a whole lot of weapons. They have one of the hardest schedules in the conference. I don't see them coming into Ann Arbor and winning, especially with us having a week off prior to that game to game plan.
No doubt. Shout out to FB Knower, football knower, 12-0 Michigan. Real quick, shout out to 23 Tails. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, not losing to Matt Rule. That's a wink game, and Raiola is very careless. Pick City. No doubt. For me, I think with Michigan, I agree with Kinetic here. I don't think Wisconsin has enough to threaten Michigan in any real way. I think Michigan wins this game pretty handily. I'm going to say 30-6 in this game. That's how much I don't believe in Wisconsin. But the next week, Michigan goes on the road to the West Coast. We know we talked about it right here on this channel about teams traveling to the West Coast and West Coast teams traveling east. Last year it was not pretty for any of those teams. In fact, I believe there were 2 wins with any of those teams traveling across 3 time zones. Both of those wins came from teams traveling east to west, though. Talk to me, Maniac. Who wins this and why?
Well, so this is another game. I think USC is going to be much improved this season. Just like Brent Venables, he has a lot to coach for this season. Same thing with Lincoln Riley. They haven't been living up to their hype as coaches. So I think this is going to be a game that's circled. on the schedule for USC, and especially how Michigan beat them last year, right? Like they literally beat them without throwing the forward pass. And that has to sting. And it's like being a grown man and getting slapped in your face and you didn't do nothing. And you like, yo, when I see this guy again, I'm gonna let him have it. You should have done it when he slapped you, but when USC is gonna come into this game with a lot, especially if Michigan is 5-0. You know, USC, I don't know how they schedule look early, so I can't really comment on that. But I know that it's a dangerous game. They're a talented team. They have a very smart coach as a play caller as well. And again, traveling Michigan hasn't won on the West Coast since, bro, like early, I think 90s, if that. It's been a long time. So this is a game that for now, I'm gonna put an L. And I think it's a game again that Michigan was right there for the taking, and we blow it somehow in the fourth quarter. So I'm gonna go 23-20 USC.
No doubt. Kinetic, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that this is probably our most likely loss up at this point. We're playing against a similar defense going out to the West Coast. As I said before, I need to see us do it before I can really predict it. I think it's going to be Michigan's offense is going to be rolling at this point, but so is USC's. I think we probably lose this game. I'm going to say USC. I'll say 30. I'll say 35-28.
All right. I think this is going to be a tough game for sure. Michigan traveling across the 3 time zones like we talked about. Michigan traditionally struggling on the West Coast, playing USC. That said, I think Lincoln Riley is another coach that's coaching for – he's in a desperation situation, although it might not be as desperate because he does have an excellent recruiting class. I think his buyout might be a little different too. But I'm going to pick Michigan to win this game. I'm going to pick Michigan to win a close game, 27-28 Michigan.
Nah, Antoine, listen. Last year, if you was on the show last year, me and Maize, we were just like, when we gonna boom, boom, bully them next. Next week, boom, bully, welcome to the Big Ten next. What was what's DNA's slogan? Get them the up out of here.
Right.
Get Oregon the up out of here. Indiana up out of here.
Right.
We DNA everybody, but
we did, bro.
But
shout out to my man E who just joined the chat too.
Yeah,
if you haven't already, like the live, share the live. We move on though. After USC, we welcome the Huskies. We owe the Huskies
dangerous
fresh L, gentlemen. Kinetic, what do you think about Washington traveling to Ann Arbor, take on Michigan?
I mean, so I've said before that I really do like the Washington Huskies squad. I like Jed Fish. I think they're a year away. DeMond Williams is going to be an electric quarterback, and they've got some good weapons, but they're all really young. I think that I don't see them traveling from West Coast to East that far, coming into Ann Arbor and winning. I don't know if we play them in 26, but if we do, it'll be a much closer game. But I'm going to have us winning here. I'm going to say 27-17.
No doubt. Maniac, what you think happens in this game?
Yeah. So, like I mentioned about the Wisconsin game, this Washington game could be something like that where Michigan find themselves in the fourth quarter in a tight game. They have a very talented quarterback. He's a versatile. He could throw. He could run. You know, this is a guy that they could cause a lot of trouble for the defense. But again, you know, we also understand that same way these Midwest, East Coast teams travel across these time zones is the same thing. Last time Washington came to the Big House, that was in 21. We gave them an absolute ass whooping. And I'm definitely picking Michigan to win this game. But Don't be surprised if it's a game where Michigan doesn't cover. Let's put it like that. It might be a game they don't cover. They will be favored, but I'm going Michigan this game. I'm gonna go like 27-10.
No doubt. So I agree a little with what Kinetic said. I don't know if they're like a year away from what for Washington. Like,
I mean, I'm saying they're a year
game?
away from being a really good team.
Okay, all right.
I think Damon Williams is going to be a very, very good quarterback. I just don't think this is the year that he becomes that.
Sure. So I think he's going to be a problem because he poses a threat with his feet. So, but I think Michigan figures that out and ultimately dominates this game. I'm gonna go with 30-10. I don't think this is going to be too much of a threat once Michigan figures out Damon in the first half. We move on. We got poor little Bronim. So Maize acting like he ain't seeing my comment. Yo. So we got somebody that's handling the comments. I'm trying not to look over at the comment section. That's why we got my guy doing the comments. But it is a difficult thing not to look at the comments. But shout out to my guy Steven.
Steve, twin.
Yes, sir. Michigan is at poor little Bronim following Washington. Look, they want to beat Michigan bad. All right. Aiden Childs is nothing to sneeze at. We already know Nick Marsh is nothing to sneeze at. But the problem is the rest of the team is everything to sneeze at.
Caca-doodle. Caca-doodle.
Maniac, talk to me. What happens when Michigan goes to East Lansing?
East Landfill. Look,
Right.
man. Rivalry games. Let's be honest, man. Rivalry games. You never know what rivalry games, man. You know those bring the best out the teams, and if you're not 100% there, you know you could slip. You could slip up and lose, man. But I think Michigan understands that. You know, I think this team, the mindset is different, especially in these rivalry games. I think this is going to be another fist fight. You know, I think Michigan State is going to play above their talent. You're going to be like, where the hell this team was at all year? Against us now, they want to play good. But when it's all said and done, Paul's coming back home, man, in Ann Arbor. He's just taking a little trip. We're showing him what trash looks like. Look, Paul, this is trash over here. You don't want to be here. Michigan wins again, like you said, man. Aiden Childs, he's gonna be one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Nick Marsh, that dude is a straight animal. He's a future Sunday player. He will be playing on Sundays. So, but you're gonna need more than that to beat Michigan. And when it's all said and done, you know, Michigan gets it done. Think it'll be a dog fight, but you know, comfortable. I say about we should be able to get 30 on these dudes. I'll say 31, 16 Michigan.
No doubt. G said he hoped Terrence Taylor not watching this. Kinetic, go ahead. What you got?
I mean, there's not much to say about the game itself or Michigan State that you guys haven't already said, but I'm going to say I do think that they will try everything they can to keep with us and beat us. Mm-hmm. I think that it's going to be a little bit closer of a game. I'm going to say I'll say 30. I'll say 34-27.
34-27. Okay. I think this game isn't as close as the one last year, unfortunately, for poor little Bronim. But fortunately for us, I think Aiden Childs gives us the football a couple times. I think we're able to do what we want pretty much on offense. Give me Michigan 33-17.
Okay.
After that, the Purdue Boilermakers make the trip to Ann Arbor. Purdue new. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put some respect on their name.
You're right. mean, I got
Right.
Purdue winning the Big Ten anyway. They winning the
Right,
Big
right.
Ten.
We need exactly.
Hold on, real quick. Odds on Michigan State having more scuffles and fights than they do touchdowns.
Oh,
GT
I
just
definitely
mentioned it.
believe they have more scuffles, more flags thrown, more scuffles than touchdowns for sure. Yeah, they not
Yeah.
All right,
they're not
with
there to play
Purdue.
football after a while.
With Purdue, here's the thing. Barry Odom's first-year coach there came from UNLV. He left the best part of his offense at UNLV. He let him go to Sacramento State. He didn't bring Brennan Marion with him, didn't bring the go-go offense with him. So all he's going to do is the same thing that Purdue's been doing for years. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be 42-7 Michigan.
Damn it. 42-7 Wolverines. Maniac, what you got?
Man, look, this is the game they get everybody to play. If Michigan doesn't play 90% of their roster in this game, we have trouble. We're done. We're done. If we're not playing at home, this unless it's like a rainstorm or a super snowstorm, we're slowing down and it's just sloppy. But even so, they're not going to win. But I got Michigan. This should be probably the highest scoring game of the season for Michigan. I'm definitely going. They might hit 50 in this game. I'm gonna go 50. Was that for about 56? Actually, as a matter of fact, 59 donut. Let's do that. They not
59 donut.
59 donut.
Shout out to the Dom Father who is also here. Be sure to put some respect on the Dom Father's name, because you don't want nobody visiting you named Tony Two Fingers.
Tony Two Fingers.
Shout out to Dom, bro. Yeah, so we're gonna open this up at the end of the show to let y'all come up and tell us what we got wrong, what we got right, all of that. Shout out to 23 Tells and thank you for the $5 super chat. He says Bryce will be cooking by this point. Quoted from the famous poet of Maniac.
My brother.
No doubt. Purdue, I don't think they have a chance, man. They are playing this game because they have to. They are here so that they don't get fined by the Big Ten, and unfortunately for them, that means a very hefty price to pay in the form of a beatdown by the Wolverines. Steven says they get a safety. Somehow they get a safety.
All right.
49-2. I'm gonna go big too. I think Michigan wins this one 42-3. They get some good field position somehow one time, able to kick a field goal. That's about it. Another bye week, gentlemen, after Purdue, and then Northwestern at Wrigley Field.
Yeah. Hold on. Before we get to that real quick, that second bye is very important for the simple fact that injuries, right? Let's also, be realistic here, man. Injuries, you never know. It's part of football. And hopefully, and all of this, these score predictions and wins is just thinking we're healthy for the most part, right? Because certain key players are out, things change drastically. So, you got to add that to the equation. But I think, remember, it was the second bye last season. It's after that bye is when Michigan looked like a whole different team. So hopefully it doesn't take us that long. But hopefully coming off this bye, we get our second win and start making a push for the playoffs and, of course, the ultimate goal. The NATTY.
No doubt. Let's talk about it real quick. So far, Kinetic has us losing one game.
Yeah, USC.
So Kinetic at this point has Michigan 8-1 going into the final stretch. Maniac, you have Michigan losing 2 games.
Correct.
USC and Oklahoma, he has us at 7-2 going into this critical final stretch. I have Michigan at 8-1 going into this stretch with a loss only to Oklahoma at Oklahoma. But let's get to it. Northwestern, this could be it. ladies and gentlemen, at Wrigley Field. It's going to be a historic game. That's a legendary site, Wrigley Field in Chicago. Kinetic, talk to me. Who you got winning this one?
I mean, this is gonna be basically a rerun of the Boilermakers game. Michigan's gonna dominate. They're gonna win, like, we'll say 49-10.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Maniac.
Yeah. Northwestern's a gritty team. They're a team that come in, but they just don't have the talent. They don't have the physicality, but they're tough. They're going to come in there and they're going to go out swinging. But unfortunately, when they swing, they don't punch hard enough. So this is going to be a bully. I expect us to, run the ball on them. Marshall and Hayes that have big games. Yeah, this should be about 38-3. This might be another shutout for me. As a matter of fact, they bums. They getting shut up. Shut up.
No doubt.
Back to back. Purdue by 3, because no one gonna score on the bye, and then Northwestern shutout. Dunkin' Donuts, baby. You want that with sprinkles or you want it glazed? Let me know.
Actually, let me revise mine to 9 points for them. I don't think they get a touchdown. I think they get three field goals.
Damn it. Taking away points from these guys. Shout out to that. I think Michigan wins this game big, obviously. Unfortunately, like my man said, they're going to go out swinging. Unfortunately, they're going to be swinging at air. Like Trey and Boys in the Hood punching nobody. But I got Michigan winning this game big as well. I'm going 42 donut. And then there was Maryland. I will be at this game, ladies and gentlemen. My brother Maniac will be at this game at Maryland. This one could get tricky. I don't think it will. In fact, Kinetic thinks that a certain coach will be losing his job by this point.
And that's not me taking a shot at Loxley. I like Loxley. I don't think he survives the season.
No doubt. Maniac, what do you think happens here?
Yeah, Maryland's been a team that at times, gives us, tough games, man. Again, obviously, the following week we know who's there. Sometimes it's just you're gonna look in the rearview mirror, even if you're on the highway driving at 2 a.m. You're still gonna look just to see. And this is the game. But I did pick Maryland to be a bottom feeder this year. I think this is going to be Loxley's worst year as the coach at Maryland. So I do agree with Kinetic that he might get the pink slip this season. I don't think this game is close. I think Michigan understands what it is. And we win handily this one. I'm going 41-7.
No doubt. Real quick, Keegan says he doesn't like this Maryland game.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, man. Football is so unpredictable. It could be a game where Michigan doesn't cover neither. But I think we'll be fine. We'll see. I mean, the weather, the only thing that could really help Maryland in this game, the weather. If it's a monsoon, then it might be closer than what it's supposed to be.
No doubt. Kinetic, go ahead.
Yeah, so for some reason, every single time we play Maryland lately, it's always the right before we play Ohio State. Every time. And every time we get caught looking ahead a little bit. We don't lose, but it's always closer than we expect it to be. This year, it's going to be kind of fun watching the game because it's going to be two true freshman quarterbacks duking it out for the respective teams. But I just don't think Maryland has the firepower. Again, they have a tough schedule. At this point, I think they're going to be more beat up than we are. I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game because, again, we're going to get caught looking ahead. But I think we come out of this one 21-13.
Oh, okay.
No doubt. I think, you're right, Kinetic. We do tend to play these guys before we play the other state, and we do tend to look ahead. And I don't think that'll be any different this year. I think Michigan wins a sloppy game by 2 touchdowns, though. Maryland's going to be scrappy. I agree with Antoine too. I think we should hire Locks after this. He's a hell
no
of a
one's gonna
recruiter.
say no to
I don't know
that.
how he's doing what he's doing at Maryland in terms of getting 5-star recruits there. I mean, it's not like he's packing them with 5-star recruits, but getting any of them at Maryland is impressive. So I wouldn't be opposed to him joining the staff, and he may be looking for a job after this. So shout out to him. Of course, we end the season at home against that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, ladies and gentlemen. I have us going into this game with 1 loss. Kinetic has us going into this game with 1 loss. Maniac has us going into this game with 2 losses, meaning if Maniac is right, this game could be very important for Michigan. It could be very important for Michigan if me and Kinetic are right as well, though, in terms of seeding and things like that. Seth Scott says Michigan by 100.
I like that. I like that score.
Let's go. I know my guy Dom has been predicting, putting into the ethos out there that Michigan shuts out the other state this year. Kinetic, we're starting with you. Michigan hosting that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. What happens and why?
I think that coming into Ann Arbor, I think we're still in Ryan Day's head. I think they've given our guys enough poster board material. Jeremiah Smith want to talk all that crap after having 35 yards last year, and it's basically the same guys covering him, same defensive scheme, but another year in it. I think it is going to be a close game, but I do think that Michigan comes out. I'm going to say 33-25.
Mm.
All right, Maniac, you're up.
Yeah, first of all, let's be clear. I hate them. I hate their fan base. I hate everything about them. I hate their stadium. I hate their head coach. I hate the colors they wear. I hate that stupid OH shut your ass up, oh. I hate everything about them. And this is something that Michigan has now taken back the mantle. They understand that from week 1, you're preparing for Ohio State. Doesn't matter. You're preparing for that last game in the regular season. You're preparing for the Buckeye all year round. And once that season starts, you get better. So when we get into that game, we're going to do what we do. And that's be the more physical team. We don't care about your 5 stars. We don't care how many you have. Them damn divas out there in high heels and dresses. We play dirty ball here. We get in the mud. We don't care about dirtying these Jordans right here. We want to win. We want it more than you. And it's not going to change this year. Michigan, 5 in a row. Cinco in Spanish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know you like me. I know you love me. Michigan, 5 in a row. Final score, 21-7.
Let's go. Dom, 23-0. Keegan, I believe, had 100-0.
I like that.
I do want to make sort of a caveat here, though, for my record prediction.
Go ahead.
I know I predicted 11 wins here. I do still think we end with 10-2. But the thing is when I look at each, hold on, let me explain. When I look at each of these games, I don't see a loss in any of these games, but I do think that our team is young enough that they're going to stumble and lose a game that we shouldn't lose. So there's no all the games that I predicted wins in, I look at them and I can't predict us to lose them, but I think we're going to lose one game that we shouldn't lose. I don't know if that's going to be Washington. I don't know who it's going to be, but I do think that we stumble and lose a game we shouldn't lose.
I want to know where the hell you got this math, right? This is new math here. My man said, I know I picked us to go 11-1, but I think we go 10-2.
Because
hold on. I just don't see I don't see that other loss on the schedule.
Right. The thing is that I'm saying that every one of those 11 games we should win. But I'm saying we're going to lose a game that we should win somewhere because of inexperience and mistakes that are made.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. This is gonna be.
I'm not crazy.
I understand what he's saying. I hear you, Kinetic. Shout out to Carlos. Somebody, at least somebody understands it because this sounds like the new math my kids be bringing in.
This is Steiner math, okay? It's Steiner math.
Hit the like button. Listen to G. All right. So look, the other state comes to Michigan. They're gonna be. They're starting a quarterback who, doesn't have a lot of experience himself. Did he start any games last year?
Who? No.
Julian saying
0 games.
No, he didn't start any.
He got some mop up time, but nothing crazy.
No, he hasn't started a game anywhere in college.
All right, cool. So I think Michigan wins this game. Let me start there. I would be lying if I said that the other state doesn't have any talent or anything like that. We should definitely not take this team lightly. I don't think we will. Maniac made a point, to say that, everything is pointed towards this game. The way that they train and stuff. What have you done today to be better than Ohio State or to beat Ohio State, right? So all of those things matter. I think it's GT said 13-10. Shout out to GT. I think we score more points than 13. We got a better quarterback. We got a better offense, theoretically, because we haven't seen anything on paper yet. I think Michigan wins this game 23-9.
Mm.
23-9. I think they are forced. They score a late touchdown. They're forced to go for 2. They don't get it. 23-9 Wolverines. Julian saying it's a lot of hype behind him. I've seen him throw the ball a couple times. He looks pretty decent throwing the ball. We know who JJ is. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he isn't exactly what they say he is. He is that. But I also saw Michigan hold him to, 1 touchdown, 30-something yards on 2 catches, right? So I'm not overly impressed by him in the sense that Michigan can't do anything to slow him down. They obviously can. Wink is going to have to coach a phenomenal game because I do believe that they are going to want to put the ball in the air. They saw what happened last year when they tried to deviate from the way that they play football against Michigan. It doesn't work for them that way. They're going to put the ball in the air. Not to say that they didn't last year either, because I think Will Howard threw the ball upwards of 30 times. But you know what I mean. I think they're going to put the ball in deep in the air. I think they're going to pause. I think they're going to try to get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. That they're going to force it to Jeremiah Smith. But I think ultimately Michigan handles business in the big house, 23-9. Good guys. We're gonna let y'all. We're gonna bring open it up to some callers. Go ahead, Kinetic. What you had?
Let me answer that question real quick for my brother Antoine. So he said, Maniac, let me ask you a question. Where do you think Ohio State actually get better at what position? And the same question for Michigan. So just being non-biased, I think they're secondary, right? Because they get a super talented and Devin Sanchez, right? Iggy, if he's not in the Diddy party, then he's good. He's one of the best cover corners in college, or at least in the conference, to say. And then you already got Caleb Downs. That dude Matthews, I know they very high on him. He's solid. I got to see more. But I think to answer your question, Antoine, I would just say at secondary, because they linebacker room might have got more athletic, but the experience, that might cause them in the linebacker room, So we'll have to see. So I don't think they really, with the exception of the secondary, I didn't really see them get much better. And as far as Michigan, quarterback room right off the bat, right? We got Bryce, and then of course wide receivers. I think getting McCulley in was huge because that's where we struggle. So I say for us, receiver, quarterback, for Ohio State, I'll say secondary.
No doubt. We welcome in, of course, the Dom father himself in the flesh. And my guy,
Damn, he ain't at the beach.
right. My
He
guy
just
G
got back.
Boulder is also here with some fresh gear. Shout out to G.
What up,
Yeah.
fellas?
We see what GB trying to do.
I wasn't prepared tonight.
Oh, you got-
I didn't know what was coming up. So
Yo.
He trying to one up Maniac on the hats and the merch.
Absolutely.
I had these gloves for when I went to the college game day show. He had to be there at fucking 4:30 in the morning to get.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was freezing out there.
Yeah.
But I'm always protected. These the offensive lineman gloves. They Joe Moore wore. They protected me from all the cold.
No doubt. Gentlemen, what do y'all think about the schedule breakdown? What do you think? What's Michigan's record at the end of the season? Talk to us.
The only thing I didn't hear y'all talk about, I don't know why I think that the Nebraska game might be a little tougher than Oklahoma is because that's going to be the first game without Sharon Moore, and I don't think y'all brought that up. Remember, he got to sit
That's a good point.
That's a
another
great
good point.
games out.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm kind of where USC might be the only loss of the season for me too. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Dom, what you think?
I agree. I think the Nebraska game is going to be a little bit of trouble because of Sharon Moore not being there. But Chip Lindsey does have that head coaching in his resume. I think the problem for Michigan is you guys predicting the loss out at Southern Cal. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Michigan's going to go out there and win that game. I think the problem happens the following week. If they're undefeated at that point or maybe have one loss, perhaps Oklahoma, they have this sense of invincibility, and we just went out to SC and so forth, and Washington pulls down their pants. And then they go on, they'll thump Michigan State, Purdue. I predict 23-0 in Ann Arbor. And I'm disappointed in you, gentlemen. There could be more shutouts. And if you think about it, last year, without a quarterback, we held that team to 10 points in Columbus.
Yeah.
What do you think Wink's going to do to him this year? Seriously.
So, and to be fair, and follow me here, with this amoeba defense, since we've been running this all the way back to Mike McDonald, right? Shutouts have not really been in the cards for Michigan, and it's because this defense is a bend don't break defense, right? For the most part, they're giving you underneath stuff and stuff like that sometimes, so you can get down the field. It's once you get down the field, then they start to lock in and lock up, right? So once you're down the field, people kick field goals, right? We saw Purdue do that late in the game when, you know, they would have been shut out, I believe, but you know, they kicked a late field goal or something like that. So with this defense, since we've been running it, the shutouts haven't been, you know, really in the cards. I don't know who did we shut out since Mike McDonald. Who has Michigan shut out?
Nobody. But
Michigan
for
State.
them,
Michigan
no,
State.
but here's the thing, though.
Michigan State. 49 that's it.
They get you after halftime. Even that's the pattern now. Like you get two
Right.
quarters to do what you got. Like last year, the only game they really didn't do a lot after halftime was USC. USC got busy after halftime.
Right.
But other than that, if you look at Michigan's games, Illinois, Washington, the Buckeyes, second half, it was like what Johnny said, you get nothing. It was just that Michigan made a lot of crucial errors and gave away points, but the defense wasn't the problem.
Right.
So
I think the
I get what
focus
you're saying.
will be different this year. I mean, we're talking inside line last year. Now we have a deep defensive line. It's going to rotate, but the outside linebackers, the inside linebackers, it's going to be a lot more coming from the outside. I just see more pressure on the quarterback this year than last year because of the position and where the talent is. And perhaps that brings more turnovers, interceptions.
Yeah.
But Ohio State is not going into Ann Arbor with the talent that they lost. Patricia, Heartline, when they get out on that field in Ann Arbor, you mark my words today, gentlemen, Ryan Day he'll just be very nervous.
He'll freeze up.
He's going to be
Who is
very
that, Tim?
nervous.
Is that my boy Tim?
You know it. Big
Tim,
Tim.
put the bucks on fire.
Hold on. You gotta hold on. Okay,
Get them bucks on. Get up in there. There you go. Look at my boy Tim. Get up in that camera, Tim. Fire. Whoop. There you go, Tim. There you go. Say it with your chest, Tim.
That's what's
Tim,
up, man.
I was school today. Tim, you did your homework?
Okay, my quarterback, he told me that I came to Michigan to make sure that Ryan Day does not start a winning streak.
That's a fact.
Oh, he ain't. I don't trust Ryan Day. But I do have who was that that picked USC to beat Michigan? Which one of y'all did that?
I
Both
did.
of them. Both of them
Okay,
picked
but
USC.
I did
hold on.
because it's on the road.
Nebraska. I think they only scored a field goal or maybe 7 points, but Michigan they scored 45, and Michigan was on the road.
Oh yeah, but so for y'all USC pickers, they lost both Branches and Miller Moss. What I'm interested. Forget the West Coast. What do they have? It ain't like Death Row Records. Like it ain't like they're gonna kill them if they go out there and beat the Trojans. What do they have? What do the Trojans have coming in that y'all like? Oh, now I don't care about the West Coast trip. I don't care about that. I'm talking about on the field. This ain't 2004. What do they have?
You gotta care about everything, though. It ain't just one fact. You could say you don't care about whatever. That's how you lose.
But before USC played the
you gotta care about the whole
Tim.
thing around it.
No, but what? Like what though? Like what? Offense, defense, what?
The quarterback
Go ahead,
that came in after Miller Morse, that quarterback, he was cooking.
He was, but who does he have to throw to, Twin? Who does he got to throw to?
But listen, they got some guys there, and it's not. Look, Steve, I get what you're saying. Bro, look, we beat Ohio State with wide receivers. Sometimes that shit don't matter. You just go in there. Michigan. Look, I'm picking them to lose. I stand 10 toes, but it's a game they could win. There's no team on their schedule that I'm like, nah, Michigan ain't got a chance. Absolutely not. But that shit factors in, and we got to remember, Bryce. How is Bryce playing? How is Chip Lindsey incorporating all this talent? Is there rhythm there? Is our O-line playing up the par? Of course, because if our O-line is not playing up the par, shit, Michigan might lose 3 to 4 games. That's possible. That's possible.
And they've still got good players, but they've got 2 good receivers, Lemon and Lane. Jaden Mayava's not a slouch at quarterback either. And as much as I don't think that Lincoln Riley's a great head coach, his offensive scheme is great. And I do like their defensive coordinator. He's from the same tree, from the Wink Martindale tree, and runs that same scheme, Danton Lynn.
Do they have the same players, though?
They have just as many good players as we do. And I'm not saying that they're a better team than Michigan, but I think that the gap between Michigan and them is small enough that it's countered by the trip out west. It's in their home stadium, all of that. And I need to see Michigan win on a West Coast trip before I feel comfortable picking them when it's that close.
Teams like USC that recruit good, just because they don't win a lot, they still have talent. Those teams that recruit really well like that, they have down years because coaching, because scheduling, whatever. But they reload. They 2 or 3 deep. Lineup is always good. They not never lacking talent. So don't get them fucked up because Lincoln out there choking.
If you 7-5 and 8-4, reloading don't mean nothing to me. Like if you going 8-4, what you reloading to go 9-3? I mean, I'm looking at you. Maybe it's just me.
We went 8-5, and we talking 10.
But I'm saying, like, nobody said Michigan was going to win the national championship. Like, no. Well, let me say something else. Michigan literally rebuilds. I'm not saying Michigan reloaded. Nobody was like, well, we just reload. No, recruiting, it didn't garner that last year. Michigan is going to take 2 years to get back to where they were 2 years ago. But USC, I just don't see it. Schedule. I don't see what y'all see.
Stephen, the difference with USC this year, if you get an opportunity, watch their preview on the Big Ten Network. Quite honestly, I didn't think a lot of SC this year. But when I see what they have talent-wise, but the thing that really shifted my opinion of them is that they brought in Chad Bowden. And he's taken a lot of the day-to-day away from Lincoln Riley to allow him to focus on football. Kind of like we're going to see with Sharon Moore this year. He didn't have to deal with as much. So you have that in conjunction with the fact that they are spending $2 billion, I believe it is, $2 billion on their facility for football. And they ain't spending that kind of money to put a loser on the field. So the game against Michigan is going to be a very, very important game for them, for recruiting and just to get that momentum going again. So I don't know. We do have better
right, but we got some problems.
Don't do that.
Before they play the Michigan, they gotta play Illinois, and they was pretty good at slowing down the run game when they wasn't playing the Michigan. Then after that, they gotta play but Michigan. But but I think that they might be looking ahead because they gotta travel to South Bend, and they are currently on a 2 or maybe 3 year. They currently on a 2-year losing streak against their rivals.
Yeah,
the Fighting Irish.
Do they play them after they play us?
Yes.
The week after?
Right.
Yeah.
No good.
So
they're looking ahead. They're looking ahead of Michigan for Notre Dame. That's disrespect. Well, how you say it, Maize? The disrespect.
The disrespect.
Let me ask Steve, Dom, G, and then we'll get to you, Tim. So what do you got Michigan going in the regular season? Y'all or is unanimous for you 3-12-0? Do you see 1 game, 2 losses? What do you guys realistically? Let's take the Michigan hat off. Because you know it's gonna be tough going undefeated. Let's just be real.
Well, I'm gonna, and I respect my elders, so I'm gonna go with Dom. But no disrespect, Mr. Dom. That's how I was raised.
I think the team loses 2 games this year. Which 2 games? I couldn't tell you. But the intangibles of the home away, in conjunction with who is the opponent played before we go to their house to play them, and there's going to be some sort of mistakes. I can't give you 2. I'm saying 2. I couldn't tell you which one. I think the Washington game, only because if we are feeling a sense of being invincible at that point, and maybe they get, but the one thing I'm certain of is Ohio State is not going to score a point this year in Ann Arbor. So 2 games, which 2? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but 2 games, and I think it's due to maybe a bit of attitude, overconfidence, some stupidity, some errors, and that intangible of like, okay, we're going to their house. Who did they play the week before? Something strange in that regard. So
I'll say this: I didn't know I'm glad somebody said. I didn't know they didn't have back-to-back home games. I've never seen that ever.
Me neither.
When I was watching Michigan, I think now I have to disagree with Mr. Dom here, but because I don't think this team is going to read their press clippings or be allowed to. I think the defense has so many veterans, and a lot of these guys have won a lot, so they know what it takes. They're not going to let Bryce get to the point where they're too dependent on him. I think having two.
Hey,
What the F is that?
Whose ringtone was that?
That's yours.
Go on and say it. Who? Dom? That's Dom. Is that you, Mr. Dom?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, man, what you got going on? But I just think that Bryce is not going to be allowed to be the overall leader or one of the leaders because they have too much veteran latent leadership, and they're going to keep him grounded. He's got veteran quarterbacks around him. Hey, man, you're getting pushed, and just off topic, Jaden Davis being number 2. I'm glad he was number 2, and I'm proud of Channing Goodwin too for making the starting lineup. But I think the only loss I see, and I hate to say this, I think Nebraska is a game where Michigan might go in there and it's like, we're better than these guys, but Raiola is sneaky good. They should have beaten the Buckeyes last. If it wasn't for the refs, I think they beat Ohio. I watched that game. The refs kind of screwed them a few times in that game. I'm not worried. Washington, I think Michigan is – that game could be sneaky because Michigan wants to beat them bad. Sometimes you can over pursue. Like you can just do too much. And if they were to lose any 2 games, it would not because they're more talented. It's because Nebraska might catch them slipping and they want to beat Washington so bad that they just go out there and mess up. Like throw 2, like forced fumble late when the game is tied and Washington kicks a field goal at the buzzer or something like that. But other than that, I don't see them losing. I don't have Wisconsin being the challenge, USC, M-State. That's a whooping. Northwestern, and I certainly don't see the Buckeyes beating them.
No
doubt. G, what you think?
I'm going the only loss being the USC.
Okay.
I think some of the games might be a little closer. Somebody had the Britney Spears ringtone. That was a Filipina song. That was my Filipina.
That was you, gang?
Yeah, that was me.
Hey, man, get yo! I knew it was you. I knew it. He was sitting there quiet, looking around like it wasn't you.
You was letting us blame Big Tim.
That was TikTok. I was watching TikTok. Man, somebody sent me a TikTok.
Video, hey, man. Hey, you gotta go. All in favor, say get him off the panel.
He was looking at OnlyFans on his phone.
You don't want to get me off the panel because Big U coming home. I'll find you.
Yo, Big U coming home.
Hey, look. Hey, but so seriously, I think some of the games might be a little closer. We as Michigan fans, we do get biased and we want to see it go, but we got to remember that our whole offense is finna be different. From the play calling, like it's gonna be some take. We not gonna I don't think that besides the first and the third game that and Purdue maybe that we just gonna blow people out. It's still gonna take some getting.
So what about the Northwestern? Because we gonna blow them out.
Yeah, but I just I'm a Michigan fan. I'm not gonna pick against them if I don't absolutely think they're not going to win. And I just think the USC game is just going to be one of them going across town, that back and forth shit that I've been a fan since Anthony Carter, and I don't ever think I ever seen no shit like this. I think it's just going to get to. I think that's a toll on those kids too. Not just you got to take everything in consideration. I think that's a toll on them too, hopping on that plane every few days, going, man. So I just think that's the game that they're gonna lose.
No doubt.
Yeah. No, and it's true. And you, like I mentioned, you're always gonna be in a dog fight. There's gonna be a game or two unnecessary. You be like, yo, but what are we doing? Remember Maryland in 22 at home with Blake? I think he ran for like 200 and something yards. We was in a dog fight with them. With Maryland, we didn't really expect that, right? Illinois, last minute field goal, dog fight. You win these games, then you say, damn, man, we I know we better than them, but this is college football, man. Every year that happens to every team.
The year
Look,
before,
Nebraska.
Hold
on,
21,
Timmy.
we almost scored 60 points on Maryland. Then the next year, the next year we barely beat them by double digits. They came out. They looked ashamed. They probably was ashamed of their
Nebraska last season lost by like 50 points to Indiana. Went into the shoe the next week and had the game.
Right.
So college football is unpredictable. Yeah, it's always like we could say, oh, last year we didn't have a quarterback. Now we got Bryce. That's true. We're going to be much better. But, bro, that doesn't mean these other teams ain't getting better neither. And there's always a team that pops out of nowhere. We saw Indiana, right? Like if last year, if I say, yo, I got Indiana going to the playoffs, y'all all would have told me, yo, somebody tell this guy to jump off a bridge. But they didn't.
Yeah.
They made it. So there's you got to factor all that in. There's
That's
always
you're the only one. You're the only one on this panel that Googled Kirk Cinetti.
I want to. Hey, y'all talking about Kirk Cinetti? If Kirk Cinetti goes 7-5 this year, all that got to stop. All that, I don't want to hear nothing about him after this. I don't want to hear nothing after him. If they go 8-4, 7-5, I don't want to hear nothing about what they lost. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear.
You know the slogan.
He struck lightning in the bottom, man.
Yeah, that's it. He's like Mel Tucker in 2021. He's just like Mel Tucker. I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but Indiana, everybody and their mama know they're not gonna win 10 games or 9 games this year. Everybody. Their mama.
No, and they just that's the greatest season in their history.
Go ahead, Dom.
Maize, I gotta check out. Thank you for having me, and I'm gonna get out of here before Garrison starts peppering me with like 10, 12 questions. I've been in the sun all day, and I'm not gonna be clear-headed. I wish you good luck this year, but I wouldn't be honest with you. Man.
Dom, we coming to Cali soon. Dom, we coming to San Diego soon.
Come out.
We coming to Cali soon.
No doubt, man.
Party at Dom's house.
Hey, Antoine, Jaden Maize is not a bad quarterback. He had a dual threat. He got some experience. He not just he not bad. I'm not saying he a world beater, but
cheeks.
Good. I was gonna say the first thing I want to say as entering the chat is I think that that comment from a Dallas fan about how he's concerned about USC is the first not overly hyped thing he's ever said about Notre Dame.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
He is everything has always been Notre Dame got this. Notre Dame. This is the first time he's been like, I don't know, I'm a little worried. I just wanted to point that out real quick. Second thing, the schedule. I can only see us getting two possible losses. I think we got the rest of the season locked up. I think the two possible losses are going to be that Nebraska game. I think that's going to be. I look at that as a trap game because it's on the road, especially with the time that we're playing it.
Mm-hmm.
The other game, I think we got USC. I think even though we do have a bad record going out west, I think we still got USC. I think the other potential loss that we're gonna have is gonna be Oklahoma. I think that's the one that we could potentially lose. I think it'll be a real defensive battle throughout the game, but I think that's still a possible loss for us.
No doubt. Let me ask everybody. Everybody's here, and because my guy Garrison just joined the chat, does nobody think that the game against the other state is a possible loss?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a possible loss. I think, of course, Michigan can lose the game, but I don't think they will.
I mean, it's always possible.
Bro, they beat them with a walk-on quarterback that beat cancer. Like, shout out to beating cancer, but
but it was windy that day though.
Yeah. Oh my bad. Yeah, it was windy, and they still had, it was the Connor Stallions talked to them the week before the game. So
here's the big question: do we have anybody that bribed their kicker to miss on purpose this year too?
Yeah. Connecticut, you're right, because he got Michigan ties. Because he got Jaden Fielding has Michigan ties, so he missed the kicks on purpose. But man, I mean, when you lose, hey, look, after the game, say Michigan wins. I don't want to hear nothing about injuries. I don't want to hear about losing. I don't want to hear nothing. A loss is a loss. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to hear about Coach Dave not calling a certain play within the second quarter with 9 minutes left. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, just so you know what, they're the better team. Now, if the Buckeyes win, I'm gonna give them their props. But if they lose, man, I don't want to. Don't be celebrating with your family 2 days after Thanksgiving. Talking about I'm still celebrating with my family. No, it's. I mean, it like what are we doing? Like, be a man.
You know the slogan. Fuck Ohio.
Be a man.
Here's the thing.
How many slogans?
If the Buckeyes win, we're gonna blame it on Connor Stallions. No, I mean, So here's the thing. Like, so we beat them last year with what little we had at offense, with Kurt Campbell as OC. And we everywhere that we were weak, we've upgraded. Whether you think we upgraded by a little bit or a lot, we've upgraded. We've got a lot of returning players, a lot of returning production. Ohio State is crazy talented, but they lost a lot. And are there any? And this is an honest question for Garrison. Are there any position groups on Ohio State that you got better than you were last year with everything you lost?
Yeah. I would say linebacker, corner, tight end.
I'll give you tight end, but didn't the linebackers mostly stay the same?
No, Arvell Reese is gonna be better than. I mean, Simon was good last year, but he's gonna be better than that. I would say based on what happened with our offensive line last year, the O-line is gonna be better this season also.
So sometimes I think that's an okay
Simon?
question.
Simon got
But
a
sometimes
natural
I don't.
tolerance, so-
It ain't always
So
about.
for him to be
Because
better,
it's all about matchups.
Simon, he got to have two of those.
But if we can beat them, my whole thing, my point was, if we can beat them in Columbus with Davis Warren at quarterback, with Kurt Campbell calling the plays, and we upgraded to Bryce and Chip Lindsey and upgraded all along our team, I don't see how we lose to a team that, for the most part, either stayed the same or got worse.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll give you tight ends, and maybe you're right on linebackers and corners, but I feel like we upgraded a lot where y'all stayed the same or lost a lot, like got worse.
Hold on,
and it's in Ann Arbor. So
hold on, though, because I don't want to play the game of we got better and they didn't, so we're gonna win.
I'm saying if we beat them with what we had last year in Columbus,
right?
And they lost a lot, and we did get better at every spot that we were struggling.
Okay.
How do we lose in Ann Arbor?
That's the truth. Well, even if that's we've lost.
They made some new addition to the stadium.
with Chip Lindsey, we got Chip Lindsey instead of Kurt Campbell. We got Bryce instead of Davis Warren.
But what I'm saying is, teams, more talented teams, lose to less talented teams all the time in college football. And quite frankly, last year we were less talented than Ohio State. Quite frankly, this year it's not. In your opinion, are we more talented than Ohio State?
Johnny's right.
They reload, Johnny. They reload. Ohio State is going 18-0. As a matter of fact, they won't lose a game until like 20 when the aliens invade the earth. So,
but I'm saying, like, we both
devil's advocate here.
Right.
It doesn't matter that
But why is it always that Ohio State always just reloads, but Michigan's not allowed to get better? We're only allowed to get worse.
Okay.
Well, I don't think
like both teams are moving on from where they were last year, but I see more losses to Ohio State than I do to Michigan. And the biggest upgrades with Chip Lindsey and Bryce were the biggest problems we had last year. I don't understand how we then lose at home when we won on the road with what we had last year.
So this is what I'll say. Two things.
I hope you don't never find out. You said you don't understand. I don't want to find that out either.
To connect, like, two things, I'll say this. based on your reasoning, because you beat us last year with what we had, that means Ohio State will never again win that game.
Trapping.
So and then
hang on, let him finish.
And then on the second half,
Well, I never said y'all never beat us. I'm saying this year.
I'm saying based on your logic though, because you beat us with, honestly, I would say your worst team
with everything you lost.
I get what you're
this
saying.
year, not.
I get what you're saying,
bro. You don't have to keep qualifying your
No,
statement.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying it's about that reasoning. Then on the other side of that, I'll say this, because I've heard Isaiah Hull say this a lot. Why Michigan doesn't get the same treatment as other teams like an Alabama would or a Georgia would, right? I would say to you, because you still produced a 5-loss season. So it's not that you guys don't have talent. It's not that you can't get better. Like I go into every season more times than not assuming teams get better, right? And you guys are clearly going to be better on offense this season. A lot of that has to do with you can't get worse, and the other part of that
on defense, they're going to be better on defense too. I heard what you said. They're going to be better as a team. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
I mean, they might be better on defense. I don't know.
They're going to be. They're going to be.
Okay, maybe they will.
No,
maybe they will be.
You can't
They will be.
guarantee that Arvell Reese is going to be a beast, and now we might be better. Come on, bro.
No, I don't. I didn't know. I'm not. Okay. I'm not even trying to argue.
We're not trying to argue. I'm
saying,
just saying what you said.
No. I said.
Go ahead.
I think Arvell Reese is going to be better than Simon because
he's not. He's a bum.
Maybe
he's a bum. Arvell Reese is a bum.
Maybe he is a bum. Maybe he is a bum. There's a chance he might be.
And Sonny Styles is a bum too.
But maybe the second team all big linebacker is a bum.
He's a bum. He dives at ankles. Yeah, he's a bum.
Maybe so. But the point
bum, man. One highlight all year.
Okay,
one
maybe
highlight.
So.
Maybe a game he's a bum.
Okay, maybe so. The point, but what I'm saying though is I think that the whole reason why a lot of people don't give Michigan that benefit of the doubt kinetic is because of A, recruiting, and then B, they're looking at instead of and there's nothing wrong. I don't blame you guys for looking at what you've done for the last 4 years. Like you're fine to do that, and I wouldn't begrudge you for it. But there's also a longer standing in that, and people watch your program over the last 25 years, and that's the way they're looking at it.
Bro, Michigan has been the better program the last 4 years than y'all, hands down.
Well, you said recruiting, so they're not recruiting in the trenches on the D line. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean overall recruiting, bro.
Which team in the Big Ten in the last 4 years been better than Michigan?
You know, you guys.
I'm asking you a question.
You guys have been at the top of the Big Ten until last season.
All right, so is no one, and we still beat the best team in the Big Ten last year on the down year.
Second best team.
Nobody in the last 4 years
Oregon was the best
has been better than
Well,
Michigan.
third best. Penn State.
Wait, hold up. Hang on.
This is where the bias comes in. This is bullshit. This is why the media is against Michigan. I'm going to tell you why. Because if this was Ohio State, they did what Michigan did. Even on a 7-5 season with a horrible quarterback, look what they did. I mean, this team, it's Michigan. People going to downplay it. It's cool. It's cool. That's why this year, 5 in a row is coming. And it ain't because of we got better here or there. Because mentally, it's what these players know. And we're going to go in there, punch you on the mouth, because y'all still a soft team. Y'all always been, ever since Urban Meyer left. And that's that. You a finesse team. There's nothing physical about your team. You had a good run last season. Thank the football gods there was a 12-team playoff. You wouldn't even made it. Will Howard, that did bad to Cal McCall. Will Howard would have to go into protection custody. The shit y'all would have said to him if y'all wouldn't make the playoffs. I'm tired of Ohio State. They fucking bum.
Hey, Phil, can I ask a question?
Good.
Does a finesse team beat 3 of the best 4 defensive lines in college football?
Tennessee was not one. Tennessee was not. Tennessee had Pearson, and that's it. They did not have one of the best. Come on, man. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Y'all do the
Tennessee was not
passing
one
the
of the best
ball, man.
defensive teams.
Bro,
What they
your
did
man
for
Travion
injuries.
Henderson
But
can't
they
get
don't-
no short
I'm not-
yardage.
all
He's
right.
a home run hitter. That's why y'all needed Quinshawn Junkins, bro. Because your man couldn't do it.
And
He ain't no
Oregon
play
played
caller.
right
He ain't
into
no
your
play
doggone
caller.
hands. Oregon played for them. What are
fucking
we
play.
talking about, man?
I know, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Here you go.
You're right.
Hey, hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
how come that same
Listen.
team lost to Michigan then? How come that same team lost to Michigan?
Hold on, bro.
Because they
Listen.
lost.
Exactly, because they finesse.
Let's keep it football. Look, here's the bottom lines, because I do think there are ways to attack this Ohio State team. They got worse at running back. They got worse until
quarterback.
proven otherwise at quarterback, right? The offensive line, I'm gonna give him the offensive line because three of those guys came back. Or was it four of those guys came back?
So we brought back, so the interior came back.
Right.
Cerebeld, he was a swing tackle, swing guard also, and but he started also last season. Because people forget we lost our first round left tackle in the second game of the year, and then we lost the best center in college football.
The second best.
Although
he won the
Florida center was better. The Florida center made first team All-American.
But
the Florida center made first team All-American.
He won the Remington.
The Florida center was the first team All-American. I don't care about the Remington.
All right, so look. So there are areas that we can say that they got worse, right? At least the quarterback, the running back, they got better at tight end,
Due to Seth McLaughlin injuries, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, no doubt. And then on defense at corner, an argument can be made. They upgraded. They lost. They lost my favorite breakfast item.
The biggest bum of all time,
right? And they replaced him with Matthews, and then they got the true freshman who I'm not gonna put on a pedestal yet because we haven't seen him play, but he's supposed to be all world.
Did you put Will Johnson on a pedestal? Did you put Will Johnson on a pedestal?
I can guarantee that.
We'll earn that.
Hey, first of all, don't come on.
I'm honestly asking because I don't know.
No. I didn't put Will on a pedestal until Will play football. All right. So
don't ask Maize that question on his show.
Exactly.
And wasn't Ransom an All-American, like a second team All-American or something like that? Ransom a third team All-American? So they just replaced him, huh?
Ransom wasn't an All-American last season.
Luther Ransom was like an All-American, like second team or something like that.
Bro, let's put this in perspective.
Somebody look that up. I'm pretty sure Ransom was an All-American.
He wasn't.
Yeah. So let's see. Check this out. Right? Ryan Day, he's such a great coach. Hold on,
yeah.
Ryan Day is such a great coach. They've been recruiting elite, not good, elite for 10 years. They still needed, with all that talent, still needed to go into the portal. Caleb Downs, they contact him illegally, but Ohio State is clean. They don't do nothing. They needed Caleb Downs. They needed to get a veteran quarterback. They needed to get a center, and they had to get a running back. This is the Ohio State. We reload. But they had to get in the portal and get those elite players, and barely did it. Ain't no fucking great coach.
Wait.
Real quick on a Google search, it does show that. Real quick to Steven's question, it does look like Ransom was second team All-American in 2024.
I knew it was.
On what?
AP. He was AP third team and CBS second team. See, it's called Google.
This was on 247 Sports reported it, and it's also.
Is it 247? Because 247 has their own. I'm asking, was he voted on?
Associated Press third team All-American. AP and CBS second team. Yes, it's there. Google. Just go to Google. Well, it's very simple.
Bro, why? We're like, I'm not like if he was. First off, I'm happy for him. Secondly,
I'm not.
I think you're getting to the point of saying like what we're replacing him. Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you McLean and Malik Hartford are better than Ransom. Ransom is a dog. So I'm not gonna sit here like. So I'm not gonna like argue.
He's a Chihuahua. Yeah, he a dog. He a Chihuahua.
Yeah, he ain't that
listen.
good.
Hey,
So
man,
we going-
I feel humble, boy. Maniac, and they going hard. I thought I hated Ohio, boy. They trying
I
to
hate
kill
them.
my man.
And
down.
I hate their
Bro,
fan.
listen.
I said it. You heard I hate their fan base. It's a
Bro.
cocky, a bunch of spoiled little kids that
I
always
hate
going
the
to
way that
Toys
they
R
walk,
Us,
the way that
and
they
can
talk. I hate the way they
always
dress.
got
I hate
everything
the way that they
wanted.
sneak this. If I catch fight, it's gonna be direct. And Atlanta was first team All Big Ten. So you telling me two first round tackles. The Buckeyes got so much talent. They're gonna replace two first round tackles. Out of here, man.
We had 2 first round tackles.
Didn't the left and the right tackle get drafted in the first round?
Well, the left tackle's
No.
actually a guard. Got drafted to Minnesota.
All right.
The guy who played left tackle last year late in the season, was he a first rounder? Yes,
Hey, where's
or no?
Beats
Yes,
and Treat?
24th,
Okay, then.
24th to the Minnesota Vikings.
Wait,
The first round is the first. It could be the last pick of the first round. Connecticut's still the first round.
All right, everybody.
Our left tackle.
One last word. Go ahead.
Well,
Ohio sucks. That's Ohio sucks.
They bump. See, they bump. They bump.
I know, guys. I know.
Celebrity boxing match.
All right, guys. Let Garrison get his response. Let Garrison get his response.
I know, guys.
Get your rocks off, man.
I know we're bums. It's all good. I simply just wanted to congratulate Jaden Davis on.
Hey man, get on with that. Anyway, hey, get on with that, bro. Get on with that, bro. Get on with that, bro.
I want to congratulate.
Get on with that, bro. Get on with that.
On working so hard to become the second string quarterback. That young man has.
Hey, you so disrespectful, man. I give you one last word.
Who the Buckeyes second string quarterback?
It could be worse.
I'm so serious right now. Why can't I?
It could be worse. He could be the second string quarterback at Cal. Oh wait, that was Devin Brown.
So it
was. Development youth.
What's the other one? The lefty. Aaron Nolan.
Aaron Nolan. Aaron Nolan the walk on. Aaron Nolan the walk on, bro.
Yo, go ahead.
Hey, they took Aaron Nolan's scholarship. He a walk on, B.
Exactly. He in the words of Maize, he a cleat cleaner.
Well, if you guys know anything about me, like I know Maize does,
don't bring Maize in this.
I have never been a fan of Devin Brown. I think he's.
We don't care what you.
We didn't ask you that. Don't put Maize into it. Juju ain't up here to save you now.
Your boy Chris Drew. Your boy Chris Drew tried to say he was going to be a Heisman winner.
Hold on. Everybody can't talk. Listen, bro. Listen, there is a time. I'm gonna be real. There's a time and place for the WrestleMania off the top rope on Garrison.
That time and place is on Joni's show, right?
Hold on. We opened the call in so everybody could call in. The least we could do is let him get his rocks off. Go ahead.
So I just want to congratulate Jaden Davis again on working so hard to become the second string quarterback at Michigan. I think the young man has worked really hard on his throwing motion. It has really developed well, as you can tell from the videos. I'm really proud of him for beating out Davis Warren, who I don't think he's better than. Garcia, who probably doesn't know the playbook as much, don't care he's not better than. And I believe I believe that it's gonna really, really, really. And Maize, maybe me. I can probably just call you Maize if we can talk about this. I really wonder, though, in a pro football sense, how it affects the use of Bryce's legs in the first few weeks of the season until everyone else gets in.
Well, you know what I want to do. I want to congratulate you and Spencer for getting along and putting y'all pride to the side so that your high school team can win the championship on All-American. That's what I want. That's what I want to congratulate you on. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
I just want to say Ohio State keeps giving us all the ammo we need to call them soft. So there's a new report now from On3 that Ohio State has banned Dave Portnoy from entering the Horseshoe for his inaugural appearance on Fox's Big Noon Kickoff.
Wow.
Portnoy will still appear on the program before Big Noon enters the stadium.
That's sad, bro. That's sad.
How soft is that fucking team, dude?
Can I ask you guys a question, though?
No, you cannot.
Do you think Dave Portnoy is as good as an addition as Josh Payne to ESPN?
He's the GOAT.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
we're not-
It don't matter. He's getting paid.
You don't see us banning Urban Meyer.
When you leave,
Hold
it's
on.
addition by subtraction. How about that?
You know the slogan, fuck
we should ban Urban Meyer going forward. But Garrison, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Oh man, listen, you guys can always find me at Ohio State, the Boys College Football on Mondays, Thursdays for the call-in show. Everyone's always welcome, of course. Actually today I did the fun show with the guys with Gerald and Matt over from Texas Boys College Football to talk about the Ohio State Texas game coming up. You can also if you want to follow me, I'm not, if you want to, you don't have to,
we won't.
Buckeye underscore Buckeye underscore Gaddy GADDY. And you guys stay blessed. And
hey Garrison, real quick, can you put that in the chat for me real quick? I want to get a hold of you after the show.
Yeah,
no, dog. You can.
And by the way, Lynch Max. By the way, bro, you've done a great job of producing this show over the last few years. I want to give you that credit, man. Great
Thank
job.
you.
No problem. You got some.
Lynch Max, you can go. You can go on. You can go on.
Like a motherfucker, Johnny.
Yeah, I just want to say, shout out to all my Michigan fans. You know how I feel about Ohio and they fans. They a bunch of politicians.
Hold on, Maniac. You can't go yet, bro. Hold on. Steven, give them your page, man, where they can find you.
Hey man, hey, don't look for me, man. Hey, if you don't know where I am, you don't know where I'm at, man. It's all good, man. But I don't want to now, other than Johnny, because Johnny, he on demon time. I don't want to check. I don't want to see no Michigan fans on any Ohio chat. I'm telling you, I'm getting you. Now, Johnny, you got a pad, mate. Johnny be in like 5 Ohio chats at the same time, going at everybody. The rest of y'all don't be over there. Don't get in the views. Y'all making them bigger. No, we not doing that. Let them build from the ground up. Get it out the mud like Dolph did. Long live Dolph, man. Long live Dolph.
Yes, sir.
I'm out. Get the fuck out of here.
Long live Dolph, man. G, you ain't got nothing. Tell the people where they can find you, G.
Man, you can find me in the hood with the homies.
Yo,
anything get red. South Central, I'm going. I got to go to Compton homecoming, so I'm gonna go down there and fuck with my man in San Diego. You can find me at the game this weekend. Watching
Lawson swap meet.
Oscar Smith against
Gonzaga.
You're gonna find me in Maryland at that game. Yeah, anywhere where it's blue. Shit,
Yes,
Michigan.
sir. Yes, sir. Big Tim, man, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on, Tim.
Y'all can find me at the Ohio State game in November.
Okay. Tim got tickets.
Yeah.
Tell them about your channel, Tim.
Everybody that didn't watch my latest live stream, I did a live stream with college football with Sam, and we made some final prediction for Texas and Ohio State. We didn't say that we both agree that we don't that we don't trust the Dwayne Day to win a major rematch in week 1. We both agree that they do lose, that it will have to be either in between a last minute field goal by Texas or 10 or 7 point somewhere close, and Pete Dan will think Ohio State they're gonna lose by 10 points or more because they got some questions.
Tim, You supposed to be talking about you, Tim. Your channel.
I'm talking about the video that I made.
Yeah, you giving us the whole synopsis.
Okay, so the name of my channel is called the Thunder Redmond, the Michigan, the football show. I currently have 215 subscribers. My goal is to have a thousand subscribers by the end of the year.
Yes, sir. Go check out Tim's channel. It's right here, Thunder Redmond, Michigan football show.
We also got a brand new segment, and I just released the third episode on Friday. It's called Smash Mouth Friday Breakdown.
I like that, Tim. That's Big Tim. Be sure to check him out everywhere. Thunder Redmond. All right. My guy, Lichmax, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
You can find me at Lichmax626 on both Twitch and on YouTube, also on X. You can also find me over at the Gamers Sideline on Saturdays, where we talk sports, gaming, and everything in between. We just recently had an interview with the host of this show right here, the Maize Madman himself. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you guys check it out. It was a really good one, at least in my opinion. Hopefully Maize liked it, but yeah,
I hated it.
We got some good questions in there. We got some answers that the fans really wanted to see. So if you want to know those answers, go check that out. We're currently sitting at, I think, 16 or 17 subscribers. We're hoping to get to at least 500 or 1,000.
16 or 17?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I just looked at it. Did we go up? No, 16. We're sitting at 16 subscribers. We're trying to get that number up to at least 1,000 by the end of the year as well. So if you guys can, feel free to head over there, check it out. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, still subscribe.
I like that.
Shout out to that. Kinetic, man, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Before I do that, can I make a request, Maize?
Good.
Can you tell us just how soft Ohio State is for banning Dave Portnoy from the stadium?
Absolutely.
I said you soft, so what? What you gonna do? What?
Don't no man call me soft. I hate that, all right?
Wait, let me slow you down, cause I'm a man. I called you soft, first of all. Now, I don't like you swelling all up and all. What's all this swell up shit? What's that about? What you taking in all this air for, Claude? What you feeling, huh? What's on your mind, huh? What, you gonna put your chin up? Huh? That means something to me? Cause I said soft? Cause I said soft, so what? I spell it. S-O-F-capital-T. Soft. Huh? How you like that? What you gonna do, Claude?
What you gotta say to the Ohio State fans?
Man, fuck OSU!
There you go! Yeah!
All right. And as always, you can find me on all social media platforms at Kinetic615, on YouTube at Kinetic615 and Kinetic615 Plays, and now over at the Gamer Sideline with Lichmax, and right here on the Maize Madman channel.
Yes, sir. My guy, your guy, everybody's guy, the Maniac. Tell the people where they can find you. Hold on, because we got you too.
Yeah. Get that YouTube up. So now with the season, I'm about to do my week 1 preview of the Michigan-New Mexico State game. You already know, man, I'm gonna add flavor to that, so make sure y'all tune in. But that YouTube channel, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Go Blue _Maniac _24. Be sure to subscribe over there. And you already know, find me everywhere at Maize Madman. Until next time, you know the slogan, stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I just don't get that all that Maize and that lock and all that stuff. I just don't get it. So. And how the
my God, we're shutting the damn live down. Good night, everybody.